Hello everyone. Just wanted to break down this build I have right here that I specifically am calling the Skyrim Inspired Scene. The reason being is because I was playing around with some of the nodes inside of Gaea and just trying to figure out some cool shapes just in my spare time here. And I found a specific mountain look that I like quite a bit. Don't mind the texturing that I have down here. It's not completely done, and I changed some stuff around at the beginning of the node graph after I did the coloring here. So don't mind this. Ignore this at the bottom of this ring. But so it's kind of Skyrim inspired. Skyrim has a lot of these big, chunky, rocky mountains. Very spiky, and in playing around with these formations I was making inside of Gaea with the current setup that I have, I found one that I really liked. I've changed it since, but while it's fresh in my mind, I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you real quick. So we start out with a radial gradient. I just kept the defaults here. There's no specific size. You could make it smaller if you want, or larger. And then I mixed in with plates, and plates is what gives us this broken up pattern where they have kind of like these plates folding up on top of each other, like this and this. And I thought that gave a pretty good look. I played around with the seed and the collision, the scale a little bit until I found what I liked. There's no set in stone look here. You're just gonna have to go with whatever you think, whatever it is that you think looks good. I turned on the slants. And I can change the seed around as well. I'm not really set in stone with any particular look here because the plates themselves give a very good look by default, especially on the radial, or when it's working in conjunction with the radial node there. So it's not something that you necessarily have to really worry about. This is also another good way to create some big jutting mountain ridges and rock faces coming out of the ground that could be pretty nice, but let's just settle on one more here and we'll continue the breakdown. Okay, we'll just go with that one. And there's no particular reason why this one would work well, but I'm just going to stick with it. But anyways, plates gives us these cool features right here, like on the side, and going downwards at a steep angle, we have a lot of detail we can work with. So works really well. I then eroded it, and I'm using these settings here, so you can use whatever it is you want, but I found that these gave me a lot of like the broken up rocks and edges, and this one actually turned out quite nice, especially this swoop at the top here. You can put like a castle or something right here at the top, or whatever it is that you want. So this look isn't even half bad. But what I did after I eroded it is I combined it in with itself pre-erosion with just a little bit of blend. And that was what I did after all the texturing. So the texturing zone, we have like this ring right here that's kind of messed up. If you want to fix that and not have that in the texturing, you just add another erosion node after, where it breaks up that ring, that seam there a little bit. I didn't. All I did is I went straight to thermal. And thermal is going to give us the nice rock edges that we need. They're kind of rocky. And we can use the deposits from the thermal erosion for snow if we wanted to, but I just added a snowfall node. So now we have these nice big bulbous jutting rocks, I guess. Not bulbous, but they're jutting rocks. At this point, I inserted a rocky node on top of what I had. And this just gave us a nice flecking of rocks all over the place, as you can see here. Just trying to copy what I'm seeing here, where you have a lot of these little rocks that are just kind of flecked around. Especially in this one, you have like these rocks and cliff faces and ledges and whatnot. So it's definitely trying to mimic something here, but it's not quite there yet. But I believe it's on the right track. Just got to play around with it a little bit more, but we do have rocks that are now introduced. So we have a nice rocky mountain here, and then we have these rocks down here. I added a surface node just so I can bring in that little bit of extra detail down here and make it look nice. I added a bit too much here, so especially with this new build that I have going on, I think the default 25% is fine, but play with that however you wish. After that, I added a snowfall, and I'm just doing the top parts and the steep slopes here. And that gives us our snow all over the mountain. So that right there completes the actual landscape itself. Next is the coloring. So I attached a texture node to the surface here, so I can grab all that good little detail in the texture node itself. And I almost always start out with at least one texture node in my coloring. Sometimes my coloring can be pretty extravagant, sometimes it's just super basic. This one's like a mixture between just basic and like more than what's required for this scene, I suppose, because it's mostly just rock and snow, but I like throwing in little details here and there where I can. I am using the C mode here. I didn't change anything here, I just changed the mode to C, just playing around with that, seeing if I liked it, which I did. I then added this dark kind of greenish, like greenish to brown hue color map here, and this gave me a nice like mossy look that I could use for my rocks. For the thermal deposit here, I added an auto level for the deposits mask, and I turned on apply equalize, and that gave me this output for it. And this is a very soft mask. As you can see here, it has a lot of gray value. So that's going to provide some really good transitions between different colors, like right here and up here. You can see that. Looks weird right now, but when we combine it together with the rest of our masks, it's going to look fine, especially with our snow mask. If you didn't want such a sharp mask here, you just turn off auto equalize, or you would just turn off the equalize option here and just play with the auto level strength. But what I end up doing is I used max with a ratio of 100, and then using the mask output for the combine, the auto level goes into that. So the auto level goes into the mask, and that kind of helps tell Gaea where to apply that color map. I then added a protrusion, and I did that based on the insert node here, and that will help grab the rock as well as or the mountain rock, as well as the rocks for our rock from our rocky node. You can see the output here. I didn't change anything. It's all just standard default. Might take a minute to build. There we go. And then I apply a sat map to that. And again, I chose like a darker color map, but it has little flecks of like browns and tans in there, which go onto the peaks of these rocks, which looked really good. And so when you combine that together with our first one, we end up with this. So we have those flecks coming out on the rock peaks, and it blends relatively well together. And then the snowfall is simple. I just combine this with the snowfall snow mask. So I just go straight from the, I think I did the, which one did I do here? The snow optional mask right there. I just took that straight into input 2 for the combine, and then I use the mask output there for the combine, or the mask input here. I attach that to the same output for the snowfall, and then I blend it with max at 100%, and then we get this. Which looks okay. So you can kind of see where we have some small little rocks coming down. Then we have the bigger rocks, which would kind of jut out a little bit. You can make these jut out more. I just haven't done that yet, and if I put together a good way to do it for you guys, I'll show you. But for now, this is getting us our basic shape that we can use. After that, I added a vegetation node, and that's going to be applied mostly down in these corners. So if you keep an eye down there, you can see it now. We have like this little bit of green coming in. And I did this because I just wanted a little bit of vegetation. Skyrim is filled with vegetation. not this particular scene, because I mean, well, there is a lot of vegetation, but not really green vegetation. But like right here, this looks like something that somebody might have made in a painting program or something. It's been a minute since I played Skyrim, but I know there's green vegetation. So I just wanted to add a little bit there just to kind of help visualize it a little bit better. But that is the build. The last one is the light node, and that's not super important. It's just there to kind of make it look more pretty for the final shot. So I'm going to go ahead and find an angle that looks good, and then I'm going to use that as the thumbnail. But other than that, it's a very simple build, and it doesn't take long to build out. I did everything at 2K, and it took about as long as it would normally take me to make a video for you guys. So it wasn't too bad. It builds very fast, and you can do a lot more with it than what I did. But that will at least get you started. It's like a good building block to start with. If you have any questions on this, feel free to put them in the comments below, or you can join the Discord. I now have a Linktree link in the description for everything, so I don't have to type everything out or use a template and just post it all in the description. I can just have the video description and what we're doing in there, and then I have a Linktree link down there, and if you click on that, it'll take you to something like this. And you can see the Discord group, my Gumroad store, my art station, as well as my Instagram, what I'm listening to on Spotify, my favorite playlist, and there's also a link to my YouTube channel there. But if you click on the Discord group, it'll take you to the Discord and open it up, and then it'll join you in. The link will not expire, so it'll all do it for you there. If you wanted to see the Gumroad store, all you do is click on the Gumroad store link and it takes you to my Gumroad store, so on and so forth. Same with my art station. So all the links, future links that I decide to add will be in there. And it's all in there for your convenience, so you don't have to scroll through a bunch of hyperlinks or just straight up URLs in the description. This looks a little bit nicer. It's a little more organized, and I can personalize it the way I want. So yeah, you can join the Discord. You can ask any question you want in there regarding any of the topics that we have in there, or if you just want to come hang out, you can do that. If you want to support my channel and continue or be a part of the continuing effort of providing content for you guys, you can subscribe to any of the 3 subscription options that I have on Gumroad. It's kind of like a Patreon. Except I don't like Patreon, so I stuck with Gumroad. You can subscribe, download all of the offerings I have in there, and as long as you're subscribed, you will always get new content that I put on that store. So there'll be any models, tutorials, or even like subscription exclusive stuff that I put on there. I just uploaded a couple of VDB cloud objects or cloud files that you can use in your scenes in there as well. So as long as you're subscribed, you get access to all of my content. There are a couple options. You can do $5 a month, or you can do $60 a year. And there's a third one in there. I have to go back in there and see how I have that set up. But the $60 a year, that is a special offer. It's a very limited seating. I increased the limit because I maxed out. So I actually increased it, so now you can go in there, and there's some additional option or seats in there that you can grab to, I just hit my mic, to subscribe. You can see it here. I'll just show you right here. So 60 a year, this is the special all content one. It's 60 a year, only has a certain amount of seats. The $5 a month, this is paid monthly, and then this is the, as soon as all of these are filled up, the other yearly option is this one. It's $200 a year, and you get access to everything I have in my store that's in here now, as well as what I'm going to be uploading in the future. I still have a lot of content I haven't been able to upload yet, but you can definitely subscribe to one of these and gain access to all of these, and then use them however you wish. So other than that, that's about it. So I will see you guys in the next one.